Let your mind, let your soul soar. It's images like this, isn't it, that carry you to your bucket list destinations. And one of the great things about the game of golf is when you see a shot like this, a hole like this, and you instantly know, oh, yeah, that's Pebble. But that's just a sampling on our poo-poo platter of bucket list destinations. Evan Schiller is a golf course photographer. He is a PGA professional. He has now photographed, are you ready for this? Over 600 championship courses. His works have been published everywhere, and no doubt they are on calendars and plates and pictures hanging on many a wall and inspiring either one who would love to go to or one who has been and wants to continue to capture the magic of accordingly. Evan, it's great to have you back on the Fairways of Life show. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Matt. Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to have you. So give me where your travels have taken you, say, in the last month or so.
Wow. So in January and February, January, I was in Florida at, I went to Broken Sound. They just did a renovation there. Reese Jones did. So I was there. And then I went to the Caribbean, to Anguilla, to photograph Aurora International Golf Club, which you just showed. I think was the first clip you showed before you went to break.
Is this it here?
One. That's it right there. It's on Anguilla. It's the only golf course on the island.
Oh my gosh.
Anguilla, I think the entire island is about 10 miles long by maybe a mile and a half wide, something like that. This is a fabulous place, fabulous resort setting right on the Caribbean.
Beautiful.
You look across the water and you see St. Martin, which is about 10 miles away. You get a room which is essentially on the beach. So that was pretty special. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was at Streamsong for the week. So it was actually my first time there. Wow, what a spot. What a great, wonderful, wonderful golf destination. They've really done it right there. And of course, they got great golf courses. I'm sure you guys have been there.
As we play this stuff, Evan, I got to ask you too. Andrew, just keep rolling whatever you please. Whatever you want to run, you can. Back in the day, when you would do golf course photography, right? You always have to get the sunrise shot. You got to get the sunset shot, the golden hours. I get all that. And you used to show up and you'd have a ladder, I'm assuming, right? How high a ladder did you used to have to get? Did you get it from the maintenance shack? And how much have things changed now that you're doing this stuff?
Yeah, you would use anywhere between a 6 and a 12-foot ladder. 12 foot's a little bit hairy. And I try to hook it onto the back of a golf cart. I actually fell off a 12-foot ladder once.
Oh, no.
I shouldn't say it fell off. The ladder tipped over, and I went into the bushes. Or you would use, a cherry picker or a bucket truck that, they would drive around the golf course, which was, a little tedious because you'd have to drive, and then you'd put down the legs that support it, and they send you up, and then you'd put it down. And if you were in the wrong spot, you'd have to move. And so it was time consuming. So those were the two means of getting elevation, was ladders and cherry pickers or bucket trucks. And it wasn't, when you compare it to now using drones is much more time efficient for sure. Because you can get to so many more places, get to many more places quicker. So it's been a game changer, really has been.
And how long did it take you to learn to use the drone? Now, I'm sure the video that we have, of course, is the best of the best. We're not seeing it moving or dipping or anything else, but this is so smooth and so beautiful. How long did it take until you were this level qualified?
It took a while. When you first start filming, like things like this or holes, you'll notice the choppy turns or choppy cuts, where it's not smooth. It took me a while. But there's also settings that you can do on the drone that will make it, move a little smoother. So so it pans or it
This looks
tilts,
like Sea
or
Island, right?
it is Sea Island. Yeah, the one before was Sea Island as well.
Beautiful.
So there's some settings that make it a little easier, but you also have to, train yourself to be able to turn smoothly. And um, one of my friends who was a really, really amazing drone pilot, when I first started flying, said, "Go learn to fly in a figure eight smoothly." So that's what I did. I went out onto a golf course in an open fairway. And I always tell people this: when you're practicing, go into an open area, because you're inevitably going to crash. So starting off, I mean, everybody does. So go into an open area, you don't have to worry about hitting anything, and learn how to fly, learn how to turn. And so doing the figure eights really help, because you have to go away, then you have to come back towards you. And when the drone is coming back towards you, everything's opposite for it, like with the controls.
Sure.
So you had to just learn all of that turning. And so yeah, it took years to get really proficient at it.
This stuff is absolutely stunning. And then, of course, from the video that Evan is getting, he can create these world-class photos, as I mentioned, many of which you could actually have in your home and office. I've got in my office a shot of the 6th hole at Le Hinch that is breathtaking. EvanSchillerPhotography.com. Look at that. Perfect timing for that. EvanSchillerPhotography.com is where you can go. So, Evan, give the world an idea of the kind of stuff that they can find on the website.
Wow. Prints, all kinds of prints. Just, very
Bandon.
medium, like Bandon, yes. That actually may be one of my favorite shots I've ever taken. They can get prints on, regular photo paper, which they can get framed. And then there's canvas prints. There's also 2 types of metal prints. There's just a metal print, and then there's an epic metal print, which is what you have.
Yeah, thank you
which
for that.
is a kind of a step up from a metal print. It's actually not a metal print. It's a high definition print that they make on what's called Fuji archival paper, and then they mount it onto a piece of metal, and then they seal it. It has a similar look to metal, but the definition is a little better, as is the color. So those are, and then it's calendars too, which I think you guys have as well. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff they can get there.
One of the things that I would recommend for you folks that are watching, in a couple of minutes that we have left here, if you want to get something like this that will inspire you every day for the rest of your days, tell your spouse to go to EvanSchillerPhotography.com. Just leave the name someplace and go. You're always searching. I know how hard it is to buy something for the golfer in your life. I get it. Just leave that website someplace and go, this is it. These are the places that I love to go to. This is the place to dream about. This is where we took our vacation. Just go here, and you can make me really happy. Evan, we've got about a minute and a half left here. When you're traveling, do you tell people what you do, or are you the type guy like, I'm not going to mention it because if I do, this is a rabbit hole I won't be able to get out?
I do sometimes. I do. Yeah, I do. Depending on who it is. But yeah, lots of times I'll tell them what I do. And that's obviously gets into a much longer conversation.
Oh, of course. It definitely does that. Now, do you only do golf courses, or if somebody wanted you to do like a private estate or wherever it was, have you done other things?
I have, but it's mostly golf courses. I'll tell you a quick story. I was at Punta Espada in the Dominican Republic, a number of years ago, and I'm up on a ladder. And this guy drives by and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm taking pictures of a golf course." He goes, "Would you come take pictures of my house?" And I kind of went, "Okay, yeah." He goes, "Well, it's my house. It's right up there. Drive up the road." And I go to this house, and it sits on this. It's unbelievable. It was this estate, sits on a cliff overlooking the golf course and the Caribbean. It was like, wow. And so that was one of the houses that I actually photographed, which was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Everything that you're doing, my friend, is more than pretty cool. It could be the best job in the world. EvanSchillerPhotography.com. Evan, always a pleasure to see you. We wish you the very, very best in your continued travels and your beautiful art.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on. Have a great day.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I'm enjoying the conversations.
Yeah, me too. I always enjoy our conversations, my friend, that we get a chance to talk about these incredibly inspiring places that you are able to give us to keep in our homes.